Hello there, my fellow family. How are you? I am so glad to be back with you on today. It is so good to be with you. Thank you once again. I always come on to congratulate you for writing me and emailing me because that's a big step to discuss issues and to tell me how this program is really strengthening you and how you are very encouraged. That encouraged me when you are encouraged. And I want you to know that together we can do this in very difficult relationships in very difficult times. You and I can make this work. And I really appreciate the growth that I'm seeing in you. Thank you so much. Those of you that are doing coaching with me, I can see the progress in you. I can see the stamina of getting up, doing it again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Push the bell, and every time I do a video, you will be notified. You will keep updated with all of the videos and all of the new materials that I do. And be listening up for the upcoming conference that we are getting ready to have. Empath, you are simply awesome and off the chain. And some of you for the first time are discovering who you are and how powerful you are. Try to get this right. There you go. And how powerful you are. And I want you to know, growing into the knowledge of your authentic self is very, very powerful. And sometimes it can be even scary for some of you because some of you, it's a new introduction and you've been wondering what is wrong with me. And now you have come to grips how fabuloso you are. And I want you to know you are fantabulous. And I really appreciate you. Keep writing me, DestinyHepper12s@gmail.com. And those of you who want sessions with me, keep writing me, DestinyHepper12s@gmail.com. 12 Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. So look up for the registration of the upcoming conference, and it's going to be a ball. And let's talk about something. You have been writing me, and many of you, especially empaths, have been writing me, and some of you that are not empaths have been writing me stating, why do I always feel like I need to be rescued? And sometimes we can deal with addiction, and the addiction is rescue addiction. And many of you have grown up in narcissistic homes where there was no love. You didn't show your affections. It was vowed to them. And you had two narcissistic parents, or you had a parent that was very dysfunctional, even had problems in the marriage, a dysfunctional relationship where one party was a narcissist, or the mom may have some mental incapacitation that some of you have been writing me about. And that it stemmed into a horrific relationship, and you grew up in this, and how you got attention was to create a problem, and then you got acknowledged. When you grew up in the home where you were invisible, you were physically there, but you were not noticed. And many of you dealt with abandonment issues. These abandonment issues is having a parent there, but they didn't have the time for you. You had to grow on your own, feed yourself, because they were working, or they were dealing with their issues so much until they went inside themselves or hid themselves away to deal with their own torment. And you grew up like this, even from a child through teenage years. And now you are an adult, and now you are in a narcissistic relationship. And in this relationship, you still feel invisible. You feel like you're not there, even though you are there. And so how you get attention is you create drama. So the narcissist can get angry, because once the narcissists get angry, you're going to get devaluated, and you're going to get a discard. Well, you give the narcissist good supply, so the narcissist is going to come back. He's going to return. She's going to return. Why? Because you are an enabler. You make sure they have their finances done, so you work hard, you work overtime. Those of you who have finances, you lavish that upon the narcissist, so the narcissist feel like all their needs are met by you, and you don't mind doing, because you not only want to be rescued, but you have become the rescuer. And the rescuer is an addiction addiction where if you are not rescuing, you are being rescued. So it doesn't matter the phenomena of the situation or the tenacity of the situation. You put yourself in alignment for a rescue mission. And what it is, it's an addiction. It's an addiction to rescue, because until you feel that you have been rescued, you don't feel that you have been noticed. And a rescue addiction is to create self-infliction so a savior can come and deliver you. And usually when you're having this, you put the narcissist, if you're in worship, you put the narcissist in a godlike state where everything is based on this narcissist. You crown the narcissist. You give him the adoration that the narcissist need, and you're constantly telling the narcissist that, you are what I want, you are what I need, and I cannot exist without you. And then when the narcissist do a discard, you call the narcissist wherever he is. You're crying to the narcissist. You're telling the narcissist you can't do without him. You're telling the narcissist you can't make it. Please come. And when the narcissist comes, you feel that you have been rescued. Why? Because your savior showed up. But the only thing about the narcissist is anytime, even if you give adoration to the narcissist and they feel like they're not in control of it, they feel like they are not the initiator of it, they feel like they're not the carrier of it, then what the narcissist does is rescue you, then torment you. But you go into a cognizant dissonance where you deny the torment and you take on that this is not torment, this is him caring for me, this is him fulfilling me, because he's turning his attention toward me. And some narcissists take the time, plenty of time, to devaluate, to mark you, to lie to you, to gaslight you, anything that will bring you pain. And you know this, so what happens is you get used to the pain. And when you get used to the pain, even if there's something with the children, it can be the least little thing, you're calling for the rescue. And this brings in codependency, where you are totally dependent on the narcissist, your happiness, your joy, your character, who you are, your plans, your energy, your non-energy, your drain, all of that is dependent on the narcissist. And you didn't realize how dependent you were on the narcissist until he did a long-term discard. He went away. He discarded you for a month. This time it wasn't a couple of days. He did his first discard with you for 2 weeks. He did his first discard with you for a month, for 2 months. Why? Because he's triangulating, and it takes 3 months to hook this supply. 3 to 6 months. He's finally hooked this supply, and this supply is brand new supply. And you got to remember, the brand new supply is just like a brand new toy. The narcissist is flabbergasted over them. They just admire them because they're perfect. There's none of their faults that's been revealed. There's nothing wrong with them. And when a narcissist gets supply, unless they are somatic, you got to look good, your hair got to be good. But there are some narcissists that are not, don't care about how you look. There are narcissists will take you as you come. They don't care whether you're 120 pounds or whether you're 320 pounds. That narcissist will get you to get the supply because of your character. There's so much degradation in them. They feel this big hole that can never be filled, and they feel like they are never fit. There's nothing right. They always do wrong. They always come out at the other end of the deal, and things are always going wrong with them. And so the narcissist feeling this way, get that new supply, and you're out of the narcissist for 3 months. For 3 months he's gone, and for 3 months you're struggling. 3 months you're fumbling. 3 months you're confused. 3 months you're stagnated. 3 months you don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You don't know anything. It seems like things are not right. Paying the bills. When he was there, you paid the bills, but now he's gone, you pay the bills, and it seemed different. And there are some narcissists that will still keep sending the money. Why? Because they know they're coming back. So they want to make sure they got a place to stay. So they keep you taken care of. And some narcissists are good by paying the bills. They're very on time with paying the bills. They give the money because they can, because the narcissist is looking out for themselves. There are some of you say, well, the narcissist pay the bill. They give me money all the time. They give you money not because so you can have a place to stay, because if it was left up to them, you would be out on the street. But they come back, and they're coming back to a place, and they'll tell you, what have you been doing? That's why I gave you the money, so I can have a place to come back to. And so you didn't realize how dependent you were on the narcissist until you had became codependent. You could not do without them. I mean, you could not move without them. And some narcissists, when you surrender everything, you give them everything. You are their slave. You are their servant. You are miserable, but you're giving them everything. And when you're giving them everything, what the narcissist does is he soon grow weary. He soon grow tired. He soon grow bored, because a narcissist is just like a child with attention deficit. And what they do is they get bored. And so they need a new stimulus. They need a new package. And they will go even friend or family. They would do something to break this monotony that is going on. And they do not want to just stay in a pattern. And they break that pattern because you have become continuous, the same, because you know what it takes to please them. You know what it takes to have them. And so knowing what it takes to please them, knowing what it takes to have them, you give them the exact. So now the narcissist got you in a pattern. Now the narcissist got you in a schedule, and you are on schedule, you're on time, and you're doing what they like. You deny yourself. You don't give yourself anything you don't want. And you know the narcissist dress well, and you just get something to just look right. And you make sure if he go out, you got a dress or two. But everything goes to the narcissist. You make sure their nails are kept, their hair is kept. You make sure everything is done, but you deny yourself. You always putting yourself last. And then when you get the children in, that's the narcissist, the children, then you. And you are finding yourself totally dependent on the narcissist, and you will instigate a problem so you can be rescued. That is called rescue addiction. And now you recognize it and see, like the narcissist wore a mask. For you, that was a mask. And then the mask came off. And when you start growing into who you are, which is a beautiful person, you start maturing in who you are, which is an excellent person. And then you'll notice that your needs start changing. The more you mature, your needs change. The more you grow, your needs change. The more you get in contact with yourself, your needs change. Many times we like busyness, we like noise, because we don't want to deal with us. COVID, being in the house, had you to deal with yourself. And that's when some of you said, I discovered that I was codependent. I discovered that I instigated things to be rescued, or I wanted to rescue him. But there has to be rescue in the picture. And the reason I do this is because I've been invisible so long until, even if it takes tragedy or trauma, I refuse to be invisible. And then that goes down to the next generation, because now you got children that realize, okay, this is how I get mommy's attention. This is how I get daddy's attention. I will manipulate and then stimulate a situation where they have to come get me, where it starts right there. And as they come get you, boom, they go to rescue mission. You think, okay, now I know how to get their attention. And you grow up like that, and you become the frequency that looks for a controller. And narcissists are controllers, but there are some narcissists are more dominant in their control factor than most, because some of them will control while they're there, but they're gone all the time. They're discarding all the time. They're triangulating all the time. You don't know how long they're going to stay. You don't know when they're going to leave, and you don't know when they're going to come back. You're just not ready to give that up. So you deal with it until you get tired of it. And when you get tired of it, change will come, because you refuse to be manipulated in graft. You refuse to be enslaved. You refuse to be docile anymore to this behavior. So the rescue addiction is like a drug. You got to have it. And many people would tell you, you just need to stop. You're not going to stop, or you would, because you don't want to be totally lean psychologically, mentally, physically, economically, socially, and as far as your self-esteem on someone else, because it can change at a dime the way they think is what you have. And now they start to distribute out your person to you because you don't know who you are. And your character is based on the measurement that is given to you from the narcissist, and the narcissist stays in control. The narcissist goes when he want to go. You no longer say anything, you no longer challenge them, and so they do what they want to do. And that's one quick way, definitely, of losing the narcissist, because you don't realize that the energy that he used to get from you, he no longer get that energy. He's getting bored with that energy, so he's looking elsewhere. There's always triangulation, there's always a discard, there's always lies upon lies upon lies. And then you go because now you want the narcissist back because he's your husband, or he's living with you, and you're trying to win him back, but you don't have the propensity to do that because you have become a common ground, and you have become codependent, and you have become reliant on the narcissist that most of the time is very immature, and very irresponsible emotionally. They don't have the gravity to deal with all of those emotions that you're releasing toward them. And so you're releasing all of these emotions toward them. They cannot handle it, so they go to their playground. I did a video called The Narcissistic Playground, and you need to look at that video, because they go to the playground, and when they go to the playground, they look for all of these things to have fun, to get away from responsibility. So the narcissist, then your rescue turn into an overload, because you end up carrying the burdens, you end up carrying the responsibility, because the narcissist want to play. And then now you don't want to play. You want the narcissist to get real serious about how you feel. The narcissist don't care how you feel. Feelings is not part of the equation. Fuel is. And how they get that fuel is through instigation, through manipulation, through torment, through pain, and they get that fuel. And once they get that fuel, they're moving on to the next thing. They are fuel based, and they cannot operate without it. So when you start to stagnate because you are traumatized from it, but you are stagnated in it, and you're pattern, you don't break pattern, you never introduce anything new, you stagnated in your personality, you settle for what you have, and you settle for who you are. And the narcissist need a stimulus package, and your stimulation has become like a bio. When a bio have water in it, it doesn't move, and when the sun come up, it's not penetrable enough to get that, kill those parasites, so it start to stink, and everybody get around that arena start to stink. And so now the relationship is starting to stink. You can feel that nothing is moving, you can feel that nothing is going, and it's not enough fire to kill off what has stimulated that smell. And the next thing you know, your mind is shifting. You feel totally devaluated. You feel like you have no reason to exist. The fight in you is gone, because the fight was to be rescued or to rescue, but now the fight is gone, and your addiction is still there. You want the drug of the narcissist, but he's not easily obtainable anymore because he's bored. And you can see where you're losing ground, and you don't turn it to the children. The children usually suffer because you're competing with them for the attention of the narcissist. And because you want it, the narcissist do not give it. He wants you to want him bad. That gives him grandiosity in him, to think that he's a god. He has become your total need. He is your nutrients. He is your sunshine. She is your nutrients. She is your sunshine. She is the reason you get up, or she's the reason you lay down. The curtains open because of them, or the curtains close because of them. And your day is depicted on how the narcissist respond to you, what the narcissist give to you, and you don't realize you're slowly dying. A lot of people have lost their mental capacity to function, and the mom had to come and take the kids for a season because they had a breakdown. They had a breakdown because their addiction to the narcissist was not being satisfied. Their addiction to rescue the narcissist was not being satisfied. And the narcissist had no intention of rescuing you again. He wanted you to fall, and he wanted you to fall hard. And then that's when the smear campaign, because when the narcissist doesn't get what they want, you can expect, you can expect a smear campaign. They have nowhere else to go. And from that smear campaign, it's terrible. Because once they smear you, if they can't bring things together, they need an avenue to exodus. But it has to look like all of your fault. Well, I pray that I've answered that. Addiction, a rescue addiction, there is such a thing. And that rescue addiction is when you have denied who you are and you've turned your total person over to the narcissist. And the narcissist trained you to need them to delete yourself out of the equation and make the need your person. And so now you just don't need them with your person. The need has become your person. It is actually who you think you are. The need to be rescued. So you're codependent, wrapped up in that need. And then you hear the narcissist say, you are so needy. I can't stand it. And you want to not be needy, but you never learn independence. And everything surrounds you when it's strength. You feel that it's smothering you, or you feel lost within it. You feel that it's too strong for you. And what you need is not someone like you. You need the opposite of who you are. You need someone that's strong. You need someone that's confident. You need someone that's encouraging. You need someone that is going to strengthen you as you move into recovery. And as you move into recovery, yourself, the dependence on the narcissist leave, and you start to be independent. You start doing things yourself. And so it's good to get around people who are self-initiators, self-starters. This helps you, because once you break that and you start doing things for yourself, oh my God, you'll wonder why it took you so long. You're going to love it. You're going to love being independent. You're going to love not waiting on anyone to do stuff for you, to give you things, to give your children things, to take you somewhere, to pay the bill. Some of you haven't even learned to drive. You don't want to because you feel like you'll lose the narcissist if you learn to drive. But the truth of it is, you better learn to be independent. The narcissist may not be permanent, and they go with how they feel, and their feelings is awkward. They can feel, but they don't feel love. They can feel, but they don't feel commitment. They can feel, but they don't want to feel like they are your savior. They feel when they're your saviors because they want to. These gods change subjects quickly, and they could be worshipped by anyone in their mind. So your independence is your security. Your independence is your children's security. You have to learn to stand on your feet, even if you've been denied all of your life, even if you didn't get love all of your life. Make friends with your opposite self, but have enough common ground where you can bond, because you need someone that where you're weak, they're strong, and where they're weak, you're strong. And you're going to have to get up. Stop waiting for people to do things for you, because once it's a habit, it is an addiction. And once it is an addiction, it is codependency. Codependency is terrible because it affects your total being. They have control of your total being. Excuse me. And you have no independence. You have no liberation. That's not what you want. You are too beautiful. You are too handsome to not to live life to the full. There's so much in you. You said, but there's nothing in me. Yeah, the reason the narcissists want you, because there's something in you. And they saw that. And you will too when you get up. If you don't have anyone because you've been isolated, then get a book. Get books. Your phone, you can get several books. There are even free books if it comes to a financial aspect. There are free books that they'll give you to read, even audio books that you can hear and you can listen to. Build yourself up. Wing your way away from dependence and enter into a new world. And a new world may be uncomfortable. You may be afraid. Enter the world and be afraid until you build it. But you must shift and you must change. The greatest you possible is what you allow to come forth. And your future is dependent on you. The Bible said that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Let this wonder go forth and don't be afraid to step out, because you are still in there. She is in there. He is in there. And guess what? They want to come out. Allow them. I'm Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. I can't wait for you to tell me that you start to come out. I can't wait for you to tell me how beautiful it is when you finally start to exodus codependency and get into your full strength, independence, and start loving yourself like you deserve. Write me and tell me how this really blessed you, how this video really strengthened you. For those of you who wrote me asking me about this, now you see sometimes it's still from your childhood. And from your childhood, you enter a phase, a cycle, a pattern, or you bring a pattern into this marriage, into this relationship, but you had a frequency to call a dominator. When you are codependent or when you are addicted to rescuers, you will always call a dominator. You will never call understanding. You will never call mutuality. You will always call a dominator. And that's what that dominator would do. They will silence your voice, silence your intelligence, silence your wills, silence your imagination, silence your dream. Once they stop your dream, they silence your hope. And when you don't have hope, you have no future. You have nothing to look forward to. And life is too huge and life is too big for you not to live it. One day at a time is all you need. But you have to make a decision where you're not going to be and where you want to go. And then you put everything in the gear and you move forward. Keep listening to these videos. They will help you tremendously, because I'm sure there are some topics that you wanted to know about. I've already did videos on them. Go get those videos. Build your mind, build your will, build your intellect, and you will build your body. And then you'll start looking young and vibrant because you feel like you're contributing instead of taking. Codependency always take. Because when you give, you won't give yourself credit because you're codependent on them. You're addicted to them. And so this rescue addiction always deduce, subtract, divide. It always takes something from you. It never acknowledges what you gave. And that's why you keep giving with no credit. It's like throwing something in a deep hole. It just keeps going and going with no bottom. You can never fix where it has no foundation. A foundation you can build upon. But if it had no foundation, you can't fix it. You can be free of your addiction today. No more rescue addiction. No more creating drama. Get a role that take you to your true character through reading, through listening to these videos, through fellowshipping with people that are strong. Talk to people who've been through this and they've exited. If you are lightweight, if you are isolated rather from everybody, you got a smartphone. use your smartphone, get magazine, get pictures, because you can get a picture, take a snapshot with your mind, and dream. Your dreams turn into imagery. Your imagery turn into thinking. Your thinkings are because of thoughts. And your thoughts will hit your imagination. And your imagination will hit your will. And your will will hit your personality. And your personality will hit your pattern. And your pattern will hit your cycle. And your cycle will make it a system. And this system will work for you because it was well put together by you. So just think. No more rescue addiction. No more drama. You don't need it. And you don't want the narcissist to keep it. So write me. I'm Helen Sattler, your Destiny Helper. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Push the bell. And every time I come on, you will know and you will be alerted and you will get the new materials. I am looking forward to being with you again. I know sometimes it's a few days before I get back on. My schedule is so huge, but you're still important and I will not abandon you. I am right here knowing and celebrating your true victories. So write me, destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. Come on, let's talk. Let's talk. Write me and let's see what sessions we can get to maneuver and plow through all of these wonderful things that is in you and all of the things that shouldn't be. Let them exit and you will be relieved of your dependency to rescue, and you will be what people look for as their destiny helper. I'm Helen Sattler, your destiny helper, and I will see you on the next video.